We're live.
Not yet.
Does that look all right, or do I need to be closer?
You're fine. You'll know. And here we go. Good evening, everybody. So welcome to the MMA UK podcast. My name's Emmanuel, and tonight is going to be a Battle Arena special. Battle Arena have got their 54th show this Saturday, which is the 2nd of March, at Edgbaston Cricket Stadium. And I am joined today by the CEO, head honcho, the main man from Battle Arena, Mr. James Price. So, hello, James.
Hello, and don't forget General Dog's Body.
Yeah, that's true. I should have actually said the power behind the throne is Mrs. Cat Price, but
it's
unfortunately,
Mrs. P.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's not available tonight, so we just stuck with you.
Yes, is it? How's things?
Yeah, good, very good. And how about you? You know, it must be incredibly busy coming up to showtime.
Well, as any of my fellow promoters will tell you, fight week is, as we all call it, Twitchy Bum Week. And I mean, already this afternoon, 2 people pulled out and all the rest of it. We're lucky that we've got some backups that can jump in, but, you know, they can't always do it. So, but, you know, saying that, the card is still amazingly strong. You know, we've got 28 fights in total. It's something like we've got 25 international fighters flying in to compete, 8 title fights. So it's looking pretty good.
Fantastic. Have you got your phone in portrait, or have you got it in landscape?
Put it that way.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Can you see me?
Kinda. It's a bit like when I'm talking to my daughter on FaceTime, and
What, a bit like that?
Yeah, pretty much. Apart from she's 6.
Me and technology, we are not good.
She's 6, so she has an excuse. There's no excuse for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, if she's 6 and she's okay with technology, then she's obviously a lot better than me. Right, good. There we go. We're set.
Perfect. We're rolling. So, as I said, you're 53 shows in. This is going to be 54.
Yeah.
This is going to be the first time, though, that you're going to have professionals on the show. So,
yeah.
Why is that?
Well, it's been we've been thinking about doing it for a little while now, and you know, we've got a lot of quality people that have started to come through the ranks in the past few years, and quite often they said to us, you know, when you're going to go Battle Arena Pro, when you're going to go Battle Arena Pro. Obviously, running a pro show, you know, comes with all the usual bits and bobs, increased costs and expenditure, all the rest of it. So, you know, we've been sort of like, you know, saving our pennies, putting stuff away. And sort of like we decided, you know, this was going to be the first show. We're going to have a go at it, start it, baby step it, have a few fights on there, see how it goes. With a view of, you know, beginning of next year, actually running a fully functional pro show. So, yeah, we're just starting small like we did with the promotion in the first place and looking to build it.
Fantastic. One other thing which has been released in the news quite recently is a deal that you've got with the Norwegian TV company, Nettavisen, I think.
Nettavisen. Yeah, all the Norwegians will tell us off if we don't get that right. But yeah, that came about through Norwegian Battle Arena. We sort of like were speaking to the company for a little while about, you know, bringing you know, the Norwegian MMA scene to Norway, because as probably a lot of people know, you know, they can't actually participate in MMA at the moment in Norway. So we noticed that early days, and we thought about, you know, kind of bringing Norway to the UK, and it's worked really, really well. But the appetite for the sport is now actually growing with the public in Norway. The media are now jumping on it, and obviously Norway is producing some top-notch stars now. So, you know, the stars aligned really, and we got together. You know, we put together a separate Norwegian card on Birmingham that's going to stream, you know, on you know, Norwegian prime time, 5 till 8, and you know, touch wood, it should be, you know, should work out all right.
That's superb. So how did it come about then? You said about Norwegian Battle Arena Norway. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, the guys that work with us out there, they've got connections into the media company. They do little bits and bobs on the MMA scene for them, and also the guys we work with, you know, they're very well connected in the MMA scene in Norway. And you know, I think talk was of you know, when we first started bringing over all the Norwegians en masse, of how can we, media wise, get it out to the people so that one, they can enjoy the sport, and two, it'll help change people's attitudes in government and places like that. That actually it is a decent sport. It's not as scary as people make it out to be. Very much like we went through early days in the UK and various other countries, and it's got to the stage where they're willing to give it a go and see if we can get it out there in the mainstream. And hopefully that will help the case of getting the Norwegian government to say, right, we can now start actually running these events in our actual country without having to send the fighters abroad.
That's amazing. Well, Norway being one of the countries that you work with, as you said, you've got 25 international fighters coming across for this show.
Yeah. I mean, Norway, Sweden, Albania, France, the Irish, Hungary, missing Poland. There's one more. This is like mastermind. Quite a few. But anyway, yeah. I mean, the lion's share of those are the French and the Norwegians. There's a good showing of Swedes in there this time. But yeah, it's good. We've been bringing over the internationals now for a number of years. Even as far back as probably 2013. I think it was 2014 when we brought that worked with the American fight source lot and put a Team UK against Team USA. So we've done some things, and obviously before that, Battle Arena sent out a team to fight in the initial World Championships in Sweden, where we fought Denmark, and that was where a lot of the people that are involved with things like IMAF got the whole concept of developing. How do we develop the whole MMA thing to take it, for the amateurs worldwide? And we've been involved, from the start, really.
So it's been a hell of an evolution of Battle Arena. So you've been going for 9 years now. Or is it going to be your 10th year this year?
Well, it's 10 years this year, yeah.
And so you developed this reputation as being the amateur promotion of choice. So if we could wind back a bit, tell us about the evolution of Battle Arena. How did it first start? And what brought you into MMA?
Well, I've been involved with martial arts since the age of 11. Doing all the traditional routes, karate, jiu-jitsu, judo, kickboxing, that sort of thing. And then through my working life, I eventually fell into event management. And I used to work in the small-side football industry, delivering football leagues all over the UK and various places in Europe. We then happened to help develop, the FA developed their futsal that they were looking to sort of put out through the UK. So I was involved with event management and promotions of a sort, in the soccer or football industry. And then just by chance, a person I knew ran a big club in Northampton and said, "Have you ever thought about putting this sort of event on?" And I said, "Well, I haven't, but I'll have a look at it." Immediately, thought, okay, well, it's something where we can look to bring our experience from event management and promotion to it, and hopefully run a decent promotion for the amateurs, and take it forward. And same with everything that we do. We started small, built it gradually over the years, and it's got to the place where it is now. So we're quite proud of where it's got, really.
It certainly should be as well, because not many shows last 5, let alone 50. So you're you're a rarity, certainly in the UK as well.
Yeah. So, it's good, really. With the same as anyone that's involved with MMA shows or MMA promotion will tell you, it's a very hills and trough business. All us MMA promoters say every time show we run, we go, "Oh no, we're not done no money, we're not made no money." Well, we do occasionally make some, but we also lose some on some as well. So one day we walk out with a bit of money, and some days we will walk out with empty wallets. But that's the nature of the business. But at the moment we seem to be getting people through the door regular. Every show that we're doing tends to be a sellout. So we can't complain. But the one thing that we always do is that after every show we'll always sit down and look how we can improve, how we can reinvest, and where we take it. And that's obviously where the evolution into pro battle arena then came about.
Unlike other promotions, you've aligned yourself with ISCA as your governing body. So how did that happen, and why ISCA?
Well, in the early days, you know, I thought it was important to have some sort of accreditation and someone actually backing us. You know, if you think when we started back in 2009, you know, there was a new show starting around the UK, sort of like every week. Sort of, well, not that bad, but you know what I mean. There was always a new show starting, and you know there was always this show come in, this show come in. It's the best show in the world, and we just made a conscious decision to get the backing of a governing body from the early days. It meant that we had independent referees and judges that had no allegiance to us or anything like that. So anytime that anyone fought on the promotion, you know, they got a fair crack of the whip. And obviously, you know, with that, we evolved with ISCA. ISCA evolved with us in the UK, and then obviously ISCA then took the whole idea of sanctioning, you know, MMA, and you know, we must be doing something right because we're still with them, and they're actually sanctioning Bellator now. So, you know, nice neighbours.
Certainly a fair link, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, being the first, one of the first, and certainly longest standing amateur shows in the UK, you must have had a number of stars come through the ranks, and I think one of them's actually just joined our call. Actually,
yes, Mr. Causa, how are you?
Hello, gentlemen. I'm very good, thank you.
Good. Yeah, I mean, if you think recently of the people that have come out of our ranks, you got obviously David's came out of there recently, Fabian Edwards. You've got Martin Hamlet-Nielsen, who was one of our world champs, Sam Creasy, Josh Plant. Look at that fight he last had where we had that toe-to-toe war. We've had the IMAF women's champion, Anna Asvik. But, you know, it's just going to get better and better. I mean, when I think about the talent that is now just about to go pro or just going pro, you know, we've got Cory Bowden coming through, Mathieu James. I mean, if you look at some of the people coming through, some of these, you know, what we would class future stars, you know, our roster's top notch. You know, we've got Ivana Sirik from, you know, the Swedish, the Norwegian lot, Endu Lishi, Maxim Zumrukin, Ireland. You know, you got the UK lot, Dan Dean, Chrissy Mountford. The future's bright. You know, we're going to have some proper top notch people coming through, certainly in the next 12 months.
Wow. The home of UK MMA. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, I mean, you know, we like to think we do the best that we can for the people that fight on our shows, and we try to look after them. And, you know, and this is one of the reasons it's evolved to the pro side, you know, because, you know, a lot of the guys that are now transitioning to the pro are saying, look, you know, we want to stay with you, you know, have you considered pro? So, you know, we're willing to give it a go.
Brilliant. So one last question then. So we've got David on the line. I'll just ask this last one. What do you think, what would you say is the future of Battle Arena? Where are you going from here?
Well, there's quite a few things happening. You know, same as everyone, we've all got, you know, plans and things that we're trying to put in place. We've got a couple of other countries coming online with the, you know, the network that we're building, which is good. We've got key, you know, we're branching out into new areas this year. You know, we've got Scotland booked up and ready to go. We're going again in Ireland. There's talk of us coming up to sort of like possibly the Manchester area and going down to North London, subject to us getting, you know, the right sort of venue for us. So, you know what it's like, you know, you all have your plans. Sometimes they go to plan, sometimes they don't. But yeah, the main thing is we're going to continue building the international network is the main focus, and, you know, trying to keep the network working and sending fighters to this country, that country, and supporting each other. Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, before we finish off with the Battle Arena overview, is there anyone that you want to thank, any sponsors, other than obviously the lovely Mrs. Cat Price, who is the power?
Yeah. Well, yeah, she's the boss. Yeah, you know, and, you know, or I think most of us will say we can't do it without them women behind us, you know. I call her the mighty midget for a reason. Yeah,
You're so deaf. You are so deaf.
Yeah, I've got a few sponsors. We've got the Juicery, they're a new sponsor. We want to thank them. A1, who are helping us with our supplying the gloves and that sort of thing. Obviously we've got to thank A Media and Netvising for supporting us and getting us out in Norway. It's they're the main ones. But if there's anyone out there who's looking to get good exposure, now's the time. We are legitimately going out to a prospective 1.5 million people with this stream on Saturday, and we will be doing this for most of our shows. So we can guarantee, well, not guarantee, but we can certainly offer a proper sort of portal for you to get your brands and your companies out there.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well, thank you very much for that section. And
Cool.
I think you're gonna stay with me, aren't you, whilst we talk to your pros as they roll in. And talking of pros, it's the very first one. Come on, in perfect time. Actually, I'm really impressed considering how you're never on time for things, David. So a beautiful segue from former Battle Arena lightweight world champion, someone who is very much used to fighting in the limelight, having fought on BAMMA throughout his entire pro career. Now we have David Demolition Man Causa, who is headlining the Battle Arena Birmingham Pro card against
Gun show.
That's put my arms down because I'm not even going to compare. Against Cameron Party Hardy at featherweight. So, David, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, so me, I'm not very tech savvy. I punch people in the face for a living. So it's in the link. I just clicked it like gun ho, like let's go. I'm like.
So, Dave, as I know, you were very late to MMA.
Yeah.
First, walking into an MMA gym at the age of 25, I believe.
Yeah. Not till late.
So 7 amateur fights, 6 wins, only 1 defeat. Former Battle Arena lightweight world champion. Amateur career. Talk to us about it.
It was a bit of a weird one, really. Well, it was like I started doing MMA, and then obviously once you wanted to train and thinking about fighting, but then obviously once you start doing MMA, you realise actually there's a lot more to it than people. Then I definitely thought to start with. I thought, I'll walk into a gym, start training, get me a fight. But obviously there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more that you've got to put into it. So eventually I trained for about a year, then had my first one, and since then it was I fell in love with it. So that's it. Obviously, James and obviously Battle Arena gave me my opportunity for my first fight, and then onto the set. First one was Blaze Strife. I think I tapped him out 50 odd seconds, something like that. Then moving on to the second one, I think Luke Stout. Is a former Royal Marine, lovely chap. He's just still speak to him now. He's a top lad, and that me and him tried to went to war a bit. So, but Battle Arena's given me some great opportunities. So, I'm looking forward to coming back now.
So, when you turned pro, you made the leap straight into BAMMA. There was no regional show. There was no gentle introduction to the pro leagues. Your BAMMA debut was on BAMMA 29, May 2017, against Conor McGregor's co-defendant in court in New York, Cian Cowley.
Yeah, that was. So I remember the call like it was yesterday, and I remember him saying, "No, you fight." I think I turned around and I think I said yes to the fight before I even knew who it was, and then. You turn around to me, it was like, oh yeah. I was like, I run back and I was like, who am I fighting? Obviously, you get offered a fight, like especially someone like obviously like me. I started to come to the sport late, and to get the opportunity to fight on BAMMA, which is a show that I'd watched and seen, looked up to the people on the show, and then to get offered a fight on there, and then for them to say Cian Cowley and me, we'd be like, who? And then obviously I'd done my research. It didn't take long for me to find out who he was, to be honest. And you start getting a bit of, okay, what? And then I remember having to ring back and ask, what weight are we fighting at as well? Since then it's just been manic, to be fair. So it was good. Birmingham, that I remember that day well. It was a good day.
So Kean Cowley came into that fight as a 10-1 on favourite. You were 6-1 with the only bookies that was taking bets.
Yeah.
How did that finish then, Dave?
I bet he made a lot of people rich in Kidderminster that day.
Yeah, I think, didn't you make 100 quid off me that day, Chris?
Yeah, I did.
And a few of my mates, yeah, they all bought me a few drinks after those.
Yeah, it was an interesting night. So 2 minutes and 56 seconds left on the clock, I think, and you choked him out. Three shots you took throughout the entire bout.
Yeah, 3 shots to their legs, and I didn't walk properly for 2 days.
That's happened when you're coming against a world champion kickboxer, though. So
yeah.
So your next fight as a pro, you took on Charlie Boy Howard. Again, you were the underdog in that fight. That was at Wembley Arena.
Yeah. I mean, that fight was. I think we almost shut each other down a little bit on this stand-up. I think we both wanted to go to war, but I think we both sort of respected each other's punching power, and we sort of, we danced for 15 minutes, and I got there. I won the decision by split, but I thought I won 2 rounds to his 1. To be fair, and that was being kind, to be honest. But I mean, that's, to me, like I said, the first fight didn't last that long, and it was a bit of a whirlwind. The second fight, we've done the full 3 rounds, so I managed to get the time in the Bama cage, and obviously in front of the bigger crowds, and managed to. I learned a lot. I took a lot from that fight, and learned a lot from it.
Bit of a bad. I'm not going to beat around the bush. You had a bad run afterwards. You lost to Dylan Tuke, but Dylan Tuke's gone on and fought on Brave. You lost to Nathan Rose, who's just had an absolutely sensational victory on Bellator. Yeah. And then your last fight, you didn't really show your best against John Nickel. But you can see that all of your fights as a professional are being on BAMMA. They're being against high caliber opposition. And now you're stepping into the Battle Arena Pro. You're coming home essentially to Battle Arena. But again, we're ensuring that your competition is remaining at a commensurate level. So you're fighting Cameron Hardy on Saturday. Cameron has fought on BAMMA with you, actually. When you made your BAMMA debut, he did as well.
He fought in Birmingham,
He did, yeah. So, can you stop clicking that pen, actually? I keep hearing it.
That was me, sorry.
So you're fighting Cameron. How do you see this fight going? What do you know about Cameron? Give us an overview of your thoughts.
I mean, obviously we've sat and watched a few of his fights. Well, probably most of them, to be fair. We've had that look, but I mean, I know he fought on BAMMA, and he fought Crawford. He fought on BAMMA, and I know he lost, but I mean, it's one of them. The rest of his opponents since that loss have not been at the caliber of mine, should we say? Obviously, I'm not taking anything away from him. You only fight who you put people who put in front of you. He's got a decent stand up, and he's a well-rounded fighter, should we say? He's not, to me, watching him, he's not special in any area. He's just well trained in every area. But it's. I think he's in for a rough night, to be honest. If I'm 100% honest, but obviously I'm going to say that it's one of them. But yeah, I can't wait. I mean, hopefully he's going to come out swinging, because we'll come out swinging. But we'll see. We'll see. They all want to swing until I catch them with a shot, and then they all turn into wrestlers. So it's one of them. So I'm looking forward to
it. You've moved, so since your pro debut, first couple of pro fights, you've moved camps. Yep. So you went to Trojan Free Fighters for a bit, and Trojan have got a history of having fighters all the way up to the UFC. Che Mills came out of the Trojan camp. They've had fighters across BAMMA, across Cage Warriors, across other global and continental organisations. But since then, you've moved on and you set up your own gym with your twin brother, Michael. So shout out to Michael Causa here.
You're Mike.
Causa Martial Arts. So tell us a bit about that.
So, I mean, Causa's martial arts sort of came around as like, obviously I was training over at Trojan, and sort of their MMA team sort of up and down a bit at the moment. And I mean, it's kind of basically I got offered. I spoke to a bloke, a person, Mark Cosby, who owns Flexible Fitness, and he's basically got moved their gym into another building, so the old gym became like available. So he's put a decent matted area in there. Me and my twin brother sat and had a chat about it, and yeah, we I basically just decided to go for it, start teaching classes. We've got a lot of people that we train with around the area throughout the years who we wanted to train with, and we all want somewhere to train together. So yeah, we put the feelers out to people. People said that they want it and they'd be up for it. So yeah, it's doing okay. Like, it's good. Obviously, it's good for me. I'm in the gym every day. I've got a lot of people who've been coming in to help me. Lads been, all my friends are fighters, and a few good amateurs, a couple of pros been coming down doing rounds with me. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belts, and also all people might have been. There's a lot of people that's helped me out with this camp. You know, they obviously know that we've just started up our own gym and that. So, but they've all come in. People, if I message them, they're coming down, help me, hold pads for me, do rounds with me. We got a good quality of lads coming to the sparring classes that we're putting on. So, putting in some good rounds. So, yeah, it's positive. It's positive. It's good. I'm looking forward to the future. Looking forward to watching it grow and building it, and obviously building a team around us with some solid fighters, and hopefully we can put them through Battle Arena the same way that I came through, coming up in say a year or so. Maybe we could have some lads ready to start fighting on Battle Arena and ready to go. You know, that's the dream for me. And yeah, it's good. It's sort of come out of nowhere, sort of a little bit, but now we've sat and thought about it, loving it, and yeah, I'm fully in love with teaching, doing one-to-ones. I just love being in the gym at the moment. It's a completely different vibe for me at the moment. I'm just loving the sport completely, not only teaching it, being part of it, living it. Yeah, I'm fully living the dream. So yeah, it's good, man.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I like that. And bearing in mind that you're only a day out from 2 days out from weigh-ins, you're looking and sounding quite good, actually.
I'm really. I mean, I've managed to get through an whole camp without pulling an injury or anything. So obviously, shout out to obviously my sponsors, TLC Holistics. They keep me. Chris at TLC, she keeps me in immense shape. Obviously, we've got Bear Hug, where if I ever do pick up a strain or anything, I'll pick up one of the supports. Do that. Obviously, my Feel Supreme supplements. Got Mr. Sport sorting out my diet. So yeah, I'm obviously can't forget Ash doing my haircut, Mr. Archie's barbers, but it's most important thing he'd say, obviously. But yeah, it's a team effort. You know, there's me and my brother. There's a lot of people backing me and a lot of people helping me, and yeah, it's all coming together nicely. I don't feel drained. Don't feel like I'm not. Obviously, I'm starving, but that's standard part. That's a standard part of cutting weight. Obviously, minimal calories, stuff like that. But I feel good. I feel rested. I feel like everything. Yeah, I've been hitting all the nails on the head. So yeah, it's just one more nail to hit. That's it. I have 2 more actually. We're gonna make weight and then smash Cam Hardy.
So talking of feeling rested today, when I was talking to you,
yeah.
Well, I was trying to talk to you, but you're unable to actually hold your concentration for long enough.
I'm blaming low carbs.
Well, actually, I'm blaming the person who's talking to you at the same time. You were fishing today.
I was trying to fish.
Well, trying to fish. Other people were catching, and you weren't particularly catching.
Yeah.
So
did you end up blanking, David?
Yeah, I blanked. I stayed an hour later than everybody else. So yeah, we didn't do too well. We didn't do too well. The geezer to the left, to the right, and me caught a 21-pounder. My mate caught one over the other side, and I was in the middle, caught nothing. But neither did Ash. I'm just putting that out there. Ashley Wood didn't catch either, so he knows he's watching.
Oh dear, that's your next haircut gone wrong.
Yeah,
you're going to end up with a Lionel Blair cut like mine, mate.
Yeah, but I blanked last week on the river as well, so I'm getting used to it now. I'm saving all my luck for Saturday. That's all I'm saying to me. That's what I told myself when I was packing my away.
So come on then, fishing. So how did you get into fishing? Because let's be honest, you couldn't get 2 sports that are further apart than fishing and punching people in a cage for money.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It is the difference of it. I mean, I used to fish the canal when I was very young. With my uncles used to take me fishing on the canal, and me and my brother started going fishing on the canal. Then we just progressed to there. I started fishing lakes, fishing for carp and stuff. I had a little bit of a time away for it where I stopped going, and then started going just carping again. And then caught a barbel one day, and that was it. I'm hooked on catching barbel out the river. The fighting fish of the river, and they fight to pretty much till they've got nothing left. So yeah, I love catching a good barbel, but it's completely different. I'll go down, sit by the river or the pool, and just switch off from everything. It's almost like meditation for me. You know, I don't stay still normally anyway. I'm constantly going. So just to sit down, chill, put my phone on silent, as you know, because you had to get Tash to try and get hold of me. I'll turn the data off so I don't get no pings or anything. And I'll just switch off from the world and just chill.
So what would be your dream fishing trip?
Oh, well, I'm hoping to get over to Thailand or somewhere. I mean, it's going to be hopefully a double trip. So hopefully
you can't fish for lady boys, can you?
No, I mean, well, actually, luckily, Tash, she's on board with it. So she's got a place in Thailand where you can go fishing, and then also I can go and do some training while I'm over there as well. So yeah, so a training and working, a fishing and working holiday-ish thing, sort of. As we fighters, we don't get proper holidays.
That's another unique Causa point I think I should make as well. Now, one thing that you've always talked about to me the whole time that I've known you is your desire of what you'd like to do when you retire. So rather than me just throw it out there, I'm just gonna leave it for you just to tell your audience what your dream is when you retire from fighting.
Well, obviously, I grew up in a place called Yorkshire in Kiddie, which is just basically high-rise flats and whatever. And I always loved animals, but I've started obviously moving up into the countryside. I've seen a lot of cows and stuff. I like bulls. They're misunderstood creatures, and it's the I think it's the testosterone stuff. I'd like to breed bulls or cows when I retire. Get a little farm, little small holding, nothing major. Just chilling, basically. Put all the hard work in now, and then just chill and relax. You know, it's one of them. We was actually delivering some parcels the other day, and there was some bulls just down the road. 3 or 4 of them getting ready to go to the market. Yeah, so Tash was just like, "Oh, look, you're doing all right here." That's it. Chatting to the woman about cows, and yeah. Yeah.
So, if we've got any potential agriculture sponsors out there, David Khalsa is probably the person you want to talk to. So please do hit him up. If anyone, I've told Tash I'd like to have a go at riding a bull, but somebody that she says I'm not allowed. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't let me either. I think that's a definite no. I think probably contractually you're obliged to not do anything quite so mental.
Maybe when I finish MMA, like I say, if it's fast and loud, I like it. And dangerous, dangerous.
Yeah, clearly. So as I said to James earlier on as well, sponsors. Have you got any sponsors or anyone particularly you want to shout out other than obviously your the power behind your throne, who's Tashi?
Natasha Jackson, yeah, thank you. To be fair, I mean, I've been all right this camp. To be fair, normally I'm a bit of a grouch, especially this week, fight week. But I think we've got everything hooked up this week, so it's all good. So she's been lucky, but she wouldn't say that. But thank you, Tash, for putting up with it, and she's made sure I haven't myself food poisoning by cooking all my meals this week. So that's a bonus. Obviously, thanks TLC Holistics for all my treatments. Pop down and see them; they're amazing. They keep me tip top. Chris down there keeps me tip top. Acupuncture and stuff like that, which I've never thought I'd have. But yeah, it's good. I like it. Obviously, Archie's Barbers doing my hair. Feel Supreme for my supplements and stuff. And that I don't know how I could do a trial out. And Bear Hug kept me nice and fit, keep going. Mr. Sport diet and obviously helping me sort out my weight cut. CRH Health and Electrical Services. Thanks for sponsorship, obviously, and Power Grip Sports. Yeah, obviously, Battle Ready Management. We can't leave out Battle Ready Fight Management. The top geezers in the sport. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunities you have, and put a show on the weekend. Obviously, I can't forget Battle Arena. Battle Arena.
I have to say that the buzz on your and Cameron's fight is pretty immense. Actually, everyone's talking about it, and you know, it's a class headline fight for the weekend. You know, it's just gonna the place is just gonna explode.
Well, I mean, the good thing is that Cameron likes to come to fight, and I like to come to fight. So, and that's all you want. Two lads that want to come in the cage and go to war. That's exactly what you want. So, we both want to fight. So it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, we've had some questions come in. So nothing specific, nothing too bad. No bad comments from Ash. I think he's probably still smarting from the fact that his team lost the League Cup final at the weekend. So, comment coming from. We'll start off with Peter Knox actually, and it's a comment for James. He's asking about Battle Arena's long-term plans. Is it to rival the Nationals, the types of Cage Warriors?
Well, it's the same with anything, really. I mean, we if you'd have asked me this 2 years ago, I'd have said no. But, you know, things have actually started to fall in place where we're getting the right people involved, the right media people involved. There is talk of investment. You know, so it is quite possible that we will go that route. But, you know, it's like I said earlier, we're very much looking at it from a baby step point of view. We're going to try a few pro fights, see how it works. You know, it's a different dynamic to how we do our existing promotion. But yeah, you know, somewhere down the line, you know, we are looking at it. Whether we do it or not is a different thing. You know, it might be that it isn't for us, but you know, if the right things fall in place with the right people that we're talking about at the moment, then it's a possibility.
Brill. Okay, right now the next question is coming from our regular listener, Chris Scadden. So big hello to Chris. And I'm going to go to Dave with this first of all. Now, IMAF have made an announcement this week that their cadet tournament, so the under-18s are going to have no headshots for MMA. What are your thoughts on under-18s competing with no headshots?
It's a tough one, really, because there's arguments for both sides, isn't there? There's arguments for both sides, really. Obviously, sustain shots to the heads. But, I mean, the only thing that I would say in MMA, we don't really take sustained shots, especially at amateur. You don't really take sustained shots to the head as like you would say in a boxing match, amateur boxing match, because obviously we can hit the whole body, we can wrestle, we can do submissions, a lot of time pushing and up the cage and whatever. So I don't really know. I mean, obviously, for me, I'd prefer to fight with headshots, but I'm not too sure. I'd say probably 17, 18. It'd be fine to use headshots. Anything under that, maybe it's like a class C sort of, where it's only body shots. I'd say that'd probably be more of a better way to go. So the younger ones, I think 17 or 18, probably to use headshots. Obviously, if you use 7 ounce as well. Yeah.
James, you've had 17-year-olds fight on your show before. What are your thoughts on these?
Well, if you think back to the early evolution of Battle Arena, we actually used to put on a few no headshot bouts for the people that were starting out. But the way that the sport then grew, the promotion side of things outgrew that kind of dynamic. And the other side of things, I think there's a place for it. You know, very much for your younger, inexperienced, maybe, you know, I don't know, 10 to 14s, just to get them going. But I don't think it's in a cage. You know, I don't think it's in front of a potentially baying crowd. I think you got to drop it back to your mat style competitions. You know, where you know, it's kind of like the old C-class MMA. Personally, I don't think there's any harm with, you know, kids of 15, 16, 17 doing a little bit of headshot work, because, you know, there's all that side of it. How do you learn to slip punches, you know, and all the rest of it, you know? So I think what they're trying to say in some respects is right, but they've got to drop it back in the age groups. Like, that's the way I see it. And, you know, there's got to be, you know, they've got to put a proper progression where it's like point A, B, C, D. At E, you then start bringing in headshots. You know, maybe it's age groups, maybe it's experience. I don't know. But, you know, for a show scenario, you know, we found that eventually, you know, people didn't want it. It didn't work. And, to a certain extent, it held some people back, because they couldn't explore and develop their striking game.
Okay, well, we've also been joined by, we've actually got a full house here. So we have Cory Bowden, who's come nice and early because Cory's not due for another 20 minutes.
Cory's getting excited.
He is. Nice to see you.
My limelight now, Cory, mate. What are you doing?
We've also been joined by our next guest. So Cory, I'm going to leave you there, sitting there just hanging for the next 20 minutes. We've been guest number 2 is Mathieu James. So Mathieu
Hello.
James. Hi, Matty. Matthew,
hello, mate. You right?
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, good, mate. Good.
Excellent. So Matthew is another one of the pros fighting on the Battle Arena Pro card. Turning pro after a successful career throughout Battle Arena, actually, finishing as Battle Arena World Featherweight Champion in his last fight. So Matthew is fighting, as I said, on the card on the 2nd of March. His opponent is going to be Alex Bodnar from Gym 01 and teammate of David's opponent, Cameron Hardy. Alex is going to be making his pro debut as well. I believe he had a similar record to you as an amateur, actually, didn't he, Matt? 6-1?
I think he's 6-2. Yeah, something like that.
6-2, sorry.
6-1.
Yeah, 6-2, sorry. So let's go straight into your fight. Alex, what do you know about him? What do you think? How do you think you're going to win it?
I know I've seen a few videos of him. I know he's a great all-round fighter. I think this one will probably be the toughest one I've had so far. Judging from the looks of him, it could be either a stand and bang or it will be just a grapple fest, an absolute grapple fest. Because I know he likes to grapple and clinch. He's by the way he fights, it's very similar to how I fight as well. I think it'd be really tough. I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest.
Who's that talking in the background?
Oh, Mrs. P.
Mrs. P. Tell her off for you.
Yeah, sorry.
This is Matthew J's time.
Sorry, Matthew.
Mrs. P will have her time on Saturday. Well, looking at Alex, he's actually had a couple of decent opponents as an amateur. I see he beat Kingsley Crawford. Kingsley's fought on Bambo's now. He's fighting on the next Cage Warriors card. So how does that? It's certainly a great start to your pro career. Going back to your amateur career though, so you're 6-1 as an amateur, culminating in the Battle Arena 145 world title win. You're quietly amassing wins and without making a huge amount of noise, and then all of a sudden you seem to have exploded with your last victory. Is that what made you turn pro, or is it something that did you always intend to turn pro after your last fight?
I always had the intention of turning pro, but I mean, I think it makes a massive difference towards my sort of style as well, to how I like to do things by fighting with smaller gloves and with less rules to impact what you can do as well. Because I've always got a little thing in the back of my mind that the more limitations I feel like I have, the less sort of creative I start becoming. So I think going pro will be more beneficial for me in terms of how I like to think I like to fight anyway. So we'll just have to see on Saturday how it goes.
Well, in your last fight, you came out of the traps. You've always been. I've seen a lot of your fights in person, and I've noticed you've been not necessarily a slow starter, but you've been quite thoughtful in the way that you approach fights. So you build yourself up to a crescendo and generally win in later rounds. The last fight, though, as I said, you came out all guns blazing. Is that a change in mindset, or would you say that that's just a reaction to the opponent that you had?
It's I would say just a change of mindset, really. I mean, Dave knows himself. He's always said to me, we've always had this little argument with each other. It's just like, sometimes how we spar in the gym is sometimes we can always hold back when we're in the cage, and we never show what we can do when we're in the cage. I mean, and myself on my last fight, I thought I'm just gonna be excited to be in there and just not think about it too much and just go for it. So that's just a different mindset, really.
So what brought you to martial arts in the first place? What's your martial arts background?
I did well when I was small, watched the Bruce Lee movie Enter the Dragon. Got me into martial arts straight away. Went to Taekwondo. Did Taekwondo for a good 10 years until the age of 16. Took a few years off, went to uni, had a bit of a mad run. And then, and while I was at uni as well, I was doing like sort of little bits and bobs, like, like Krav Maga and all that sort of thing. And I got back from London, moved back up here, and then started doing MMA, and just branched out from there from when I was about 21 years old. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, as we said to David earlier, David set up his own gym, set up his own classes. That's something that you've done yourself as well. So, tell us about that. How did that come about? And plug your classes.
Yeah, basically, I've always enjoyed teaching as people. It started off really is that before my training sessions up in Wolverhampton on the weekend, I would go up early and me and some guys would just sort of just chill out and kind of go through techniques and go through some scenarios and everything. And I found myself teaching a lot of the things that were going on, and that really got me in the mood and got a knack for really liking to teach people. So I thought, this is what I want to do eventually after the MMA career is over and everything. After I've stopped fighting, I want to be able to teach people and have people fight at my own gym, and not just fight out the own gym. I want people to come to me for self-defense, self-confidence as well, and basically just hopefully one day live the dream of teaching martial arts full time.
So we've had a lot of conversations off air about what you want to do, where you want to go. Your martial arts journey. You've not got you speak to most MMA fighters, what they say is, I want to fight in the UFC, I want to fight at Madison Square Gardens, I want to be the UFC world champion. Not quite the same with you.
No.
Where do you see yourself going, and why do you differ from other martial artists in that respect?
Well, I'm not really bothered about going too much over to the UFC and everything, because that's everyone's goal. But I want to, I'd much rather go to places where people I idolize are fighting. So, for example, ONE FC, for example, that's if I ever get a chance to fight on ONE FC, I would take it 100%. I'm not really too bothered about UFC and everything. I sort of want to fight against people who are, not out there just for the money and just for the public eye, who are actually proper martial artists as well. One person I always look up to and would always want to train with is Shinya Aoki in ONE FC. He's one guy I would love to train with one day. I'm more in it for challenging myself, and just proving that what I'm teaching myself and what I'm learning is efficient and does work, and then bettering myself as a person. Every time I win in the cage, it makes me more confident in myself as well, and makes me feel like I've achieved something that not many people do. And I also like to show people that if you put your mind to it and you train and you do what needs to be done, anything is possible.
Didn't Shinya Aoki got a title fight coming up himself shortly?
Yeah, he's got the rematch against that Edward Furliang guy. Who beat him flukily on the last run. So I'll be looking forward to watching that for sure. That's coming up at the end of March, actually. So
that's the Demetrius Johnson and Eddie Alvarez card as well, isn't it?
That's correct. Yes, it is. Yeah.
So what are your predictions for the title fight?
I reckon Shinya will hopefully take it. I reckon he'll submit. I think he's on his streak at the moment. The run he's on. He's on fire at the moment. I think he's got the confidence and the ability and the mental mindset to be able to win this one quite comfortably. The Eddie Alvarez and Demetrius Johnson. Not really a fan of Eddie Alvarez, and I don't really pay much attention to Demetrius Johnson, to be honest. So, but Demetrius Johnson, seeing who he's fighting, I reckon he'll win. Eddie Alvarez, I'm not too sure. I haven't really paid much attention to him.
So what's wrong with Eddie Alvarez? Why aren't you a fan?
There's just something meatheadish about him. I don't really like. He's just a bit. I don't know. Just don't really click with him. Not really my thing.
No, fair enough. So ONE have been making some moves recently. So they signed someone who we had on the show quite recently, Sage Northcutt.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Which it's the same Sage isn't on that card actually, but would have been nice for him to get showcased at the same time. and then you had the CEO making noises about another big signing. Now, this is only the weekend after Vitor Belfort was cage-side at one of their events.
Okay.
So, do you see them as being the up-and-coming promotion? You obviously, in the Western world, we have the UFC who have been the pioneers of the sport, and Bellator are coming up very much so on their heels. But across the Far East, one have built a formidable fan base, going from country to country. Where do you see the future for one? Do you see them becoming a global force, or just?
I think ONE FC, there's something exotic about ONE FC, which is what attracts me to it as well. I think ONE FC would do well to stay where they are in the eastern in the eastern region and not really expand too much out of there. I think they can still grow within Asia and everything, but I think they should. I don't think they should try and take over globally. I think the West have the UFC and Bellator, and then obviously the East have ONE FC, and I think that's how it should stay. But ONE FC, I would love to fight on ONE FC one day, and just kind of be able to go over there and also sightsee at the same time. So get it all done in one go.
I think there needs to be a little bit older for that, though.
Oh yes, well, I don't know. He's pretty big already, and he's well developed for a kid his age. James has met him before; he'll vouch for me. He's a chunky boy. He's a beast, yeah. So and he kind of he punches me every morning when we put him in bed and everything like that. So he's a strong boy, and I can tell that if he ever does get into martial arts when he's older and everything, I think he'll be quite a formidable person to deal with.
Well, we were asked a question just before you came on from one of our viewers, Chris Gadden. He asked about a rule that IMAF are looking to bring in to their cadet tournament. So as under 18 fighters, they're looking at the background of it. IMAF are trying to bring MMA into the mainstream. They're trying to get global recognition. They're trying to get Olympic recognition for the sport. So they're trying to not necessarily water down, but they're trying to make it more appealing to the international committee. They have they proposed having a no headshots rule for their cadet tournaments. So under 18s are not allowed to have headshots during MMA bouts on IMAF tournaments. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's like saying kids shouldn't play rugby. I mean, to me, I understand headshots to a certain point, but I think after the age of 13, headshots should be allowed. But before the age of 13, possibly body shots only, or if they are going to do headshots, make sure it's obviously not full 100% contact and that it is light contact. I think there's a massive difference between 100% contact in competition and obviously the semi-contact. That's what the kickboxers have in the point system. They have the semi-contact where it's not full contact, so it gives a safe rule set for younger people. But I mean, you look at sports like rugby. If you ask me, rugby is more dangerous than MMA. I mean, you get more injuries in rugby than you do in MMA. I've been playing rugby all through my childhood, and I can tell you now, I've seen people break the leg, snap the collarbones in half, do all sorts of stuff like that on my team as well, and on other opposition's team. And I've seen more injuries in rugby than I have in MMA. So I think headshots should be allowed for all ages, but under the age of 13, I think the contact and the intensity of the shots needs to be controlled.
I like that. We're getting some really good measured answers there. I hope IMAF are going to take this on board.
Yeah.
So, as I've said to both James and David, this is your opportunity as well to give your shout out to the MMA UK audience, but for your sponsors. Anyone that you want to thank specifically? Any sponsors? Any people who've helped you with this camp?
Yeah, 100%. Same as well. Me and Dave have got a very similar sponsor, who we live by, and that's Ash, Archie's salon. He gives me free haircuts, keeps me looking nice and sexy all the time. Everyone's always every time someone's, don't laugh, James, it's true. Every time someone sees me, they're always like, "You've got a really sharp haircut," and I'm like, "Well," Also, I've got a sponsor, Precision Hydration as well. They do a really good job. I use their products for rehydrating and also using before and after training sessions. I feel like on my last hydration, because it was my first water cut, I don't think I would have lasted without their products, to be honest, because there was a moment before my fight when I started to get a bit dehydrated again, and I was starting to panic, and I made the fatal mistake of drinking more and more water, making myself more dehydrated and diluted, and I precision hydration products, ran back to the car, got some of that, put it in me, good to go, even if the show was at 11:30 at night, ready to go to bed, ready to go I was. Yeah, I've only got the two sponsors at the moment, and also Carly as well, probably the number one fan. She's obviously put up with my grouchiness all week. This week I've been especially grumpy. I blame that on the lack of carbs.
How is the weight cut going?
It's going good. It's going good. I'm not cutting as much weight as some of the other guys who are fighting at 66. But as I've dieted down a bit lighter this time, I know I walked in just a little bit over on the first weighing attempt last time because I cut from 71 kilo. I've come down a little bit since then, so just to make it a bit more easy. So obviously Mr. Sport as well. He's another one who I'll give a massive shout out to. He's helped me out absolutely loads. He's answered my questions and given me good advice if I've ever worried about anything. So I'm 100% confident in him. And yeah, so weight cut's going good. I'm tired. I am a little bit I do that sort of thing every now and then when people are talking to me because my mind's not exactly switched on at the moment, but I feel good physically. So yeah, it's going good.
There's always a question that we ask on MMA UK podcast. There's two, and David's gone unfortunately because I was gonna ask him them as well. First question: if you could change one rule in MMA, what would it be? Let's call you out.
There's not many rules. Oh man, I really don't know. Does this include the fighting rule sets or the weighing rule sets or
whatever you want? Whatever you want. Completely wide open.
I think there should be a limit on how much people can cut for weigh-ins. That's one thing about ONE FC which I like as well. Everyone's had to move up a weight class to make it more of a fair and safer way of competing. I believe if you cut any more than 10 kilo and you have to use IV drips to refuel, I think it's one, dangerous for you, and two, dangerous for your opponent as well. Especially if you put on 10 kilo overnight and your opponent's only put on 4. I think the weight difference is massive, and I think that needs to be looked at. So, yeah.
Good answer. See, I can even put you on the spot, and you still come out with good answers with no carbs in your system.
Yeah, I had to think about it then, but that's one definitely. I was going to say soccer kicks to the head, but no, that's
the usual answer.
That's ONE FC. Yeah, that's ONE FC rules.
Well, one other one then. So this is the cruelest question to ask a man when he's on his weight cut.
Mm-hmm.
The world record for Jaffa Cake eating is 17 in 1 minute. How many Jaffa Cakes do you think you can eat in 1 minute after your fight?
After my fight.
Now the rules are, you can only eat one at a time, and you're not allowed to have a drink. So you eat one at a time. You have to prove that you've actually swallowed. So eat, open, prove that you swallowed, and then no drinks. You've just got 1 minute to eat as many as you can.
Oh, probably 8 or 9. That's truthful as well. I wouldn't give myself a high number. Probably 8 or 9.
You wouldn't go for the world record then, because we are looking at putting together an MMA UK competition. We're looking at possibly in the summer. We're gonna have as many fighters, people associated with MMA as possible, and we're gonna have a run for the title. Do you reckon that you could?
Yeah, let's do it. It gives me an excuse to eat something nice. So yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I'd happily do that.
Oh, fantastic.
But yeah, all right then, go on. I'll smash it. Yeah, I'll smash the world record then. Yeah, I would.
Get in. That's what I like to hear. Confidence.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
James, this is going to be right up your street. What do you reckon? 17. Reckon you can beat
Easy.
it? 1 minute.
Easy. In a minute. I've got some skills when it comes to scoffing, hence the belly. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd get close to it. I reckon I could get close to it. Definitely.
David's just messaged me. David's just said, sorry, my phone's died. Don't think I can beat the Jaffa Cake record, but I reckon I could do 5 burgers and 4 hot dogs in a minute.
I can believe he loves his burgers and hot dogs, mate. You can't stay away from him. Yeah. You should have seen him. You should have seen him just after Christmas. I saw him, and I was just like, "There's no way you're hitting 66 for March, mate." And he was just like, "Trust me, I am." And I was like, "We'll see about that." But no, he's doing good. He's doing well.
David's got the Causa scales. So the Causa scales always weigh no more than 79 kilos. Whenever I speak to him out of camp, how heavy are you? I'm 79, mate. It's great. I'm fine.
Oh, you should have. You don't want to know what he was a couple of weeks ago. Oh.
No, I do.
No,
know.
he's on track. Yeah, he's on track though. He's good. Excellent.
So James, you're going for the 17?
Yeah, easy. You know, I've got some champion eatings. I'm a bit of a champion at eating things like spaghetti bolognese. Hot dogs is a winner for me as well. You know, get me on a good day at a barbecue. I destroy barbecue. Yeah, I've got skills. That's why I'm the promoter, not the fire.
Well, that and the fact that you're knocking on for 50 years old. So,
well, yeah, that's true.
Well, Matty, thank you so much for coming on. You've given your sponsors out. You've talked about your class. Where is your class? You haven't even said where your class is and when it is.
Yeah, well, it's every Wednesday at the moment. Just doing the wrong class at the moment. It's actually exactly in the same place where Dave does his classes. We help each other out a lot, actually. We do the sparring sessions together. And then we also do classes in the same room. So every Wednesday it's 7 till 8 p.m. I've just done one today, actually, at Flexible Gym Wellbeing in Kidderman. Used to be Home Nightclub, around the back of Home Nightclub. That's where it is. So yeah, combat jiu-jitsu. There we go.
Fantastic. Get yourselves along. If you're in the West Midlands area, learn how to fight.
Brilliant. That's it, mate. That's it.
Well, you're welcome to stay on if you like, or if you want to go and get some rest because you're dying of carb depletion. Entirely up to you. Or the chance to actually go and see your missus for a few hours as well. So you choose. You can stay on or you can head off. I'll leave it.
No, it's all right. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes and see what the crack is.
Excellent. So you're going to see the young gun Cory Bowden come on. So here he is. He's joined. He hung around for a bit. He walked around for a bit. He left and he's come back again. Cory Bowden, thank you very much for joining us.
How are we all doing?
Yeah, we're good. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate.
I'm good, man. I've just finished an interview with Monster MMA. That was a cool interview. So that was fun.
Well, look at you. Rolling from one interview into the other.
Oh, no, I've made it now. So fucking that's it, basically, isn't it? You see me all over my city today on a back of a lorry, so, and not a missing persons report. It was
or a wanted report.
Yeah, exactly. It was all advertisements. Mama, I made it.
Yeah. So tell us about.
I saw that. That was pretty cool. It was cool.
It was fucking awesome. I didn't even realize it was going to happen. I was going into town anyway, just to actually send you some money over, James. Make you rich today. And I went into the bank to sort that out, and someone messaged me like, "You need to be outside in 5 minutes of NatWest if you're in town." And I was like, "Cool, I'm perfect. I'm going to be there." Came outside, he's pulled up, and I was just like, I lost my shit. I did not expect it at all. So I actually made him go out and spin it round again so I could get it on video.
So I mean, people who don't know what actually happened is it one of your sponsors, Cory, or
no, legit,
just like a mate,
a dude I used to work for. I haven't spoken to him in probably a couple of months. Now and again, he posts on my page and stuff saying like, good luck and
tell everyone exactly what happened. It's really cool.
So yeah, I get a text. He tells me to meet him outside. A guy called Kevin. I've known him for a while now. I had no idea. I knew he had done this for his own company.
Explain where this was.
Coventry City Centre. There's probably about 5 major banks around. There's fucking hundreds of people just walking around. And I'm standing there just minding my own business. And then a van pulls up and it's got my face on the side of it. And like, I don't even know how to kind of describe it, but it's like
it's like a billboard on wheels.
Yeah, billboard on wheels. Best way to describe it, saying, good luck, Cory Bowden, on your pro debut. And that is my face and my name plastered all over that shit. And it was weird. There was people like walking past, and then they see, and then I'm standing there like, it's me, like yeah. Oh man, like seriously, like words can't really put into how I felt in that moment. Honestly, it was just fucking, it was mind blowing, and it was just like a little taste, I guess, of what's more to come.
Well, that's a great segue actually into talking about what you're doing. So you are making your professional debut as one of the pros on the Battle Arena, the inaugural Battle Arena Pro card on Battle Arena 54 this Saturday at Edgbaston Cricket Stadium. You're fighting an international athlete, Andreas Lindblad, who's 2-1, Swedish guy who fights out of frontline in Norway. So you're actually, we spoke earlier on in the podcast about the Norwegian TV deal, and you are on the Norwegian broadcast, fighting against Andreas. Now, this has come off the back of. I know that I really shouldn't be blowing smoke up your 23-year-old ass, but I'm going to. It was a stellar amateur career. So Tapology says he's 6-1. In reality, he's closer to 11-1.
More like 13.
You finished off as the Battle Arena champ, European and world title holder at both welterweight and lightweight. Feeling pretty special right now, I'd imagine.
Just another day's work for me. I just turned like for real, man. Like fucking 2 years ago, I was just like, 3 years now. I said I'm going to do MMA, and that's something I wanted to do. I started just knocking on doors saying, I want this, I want that. And to be fair, basically, that's how I got all of my title shots. I just beat someone up, and then I was like, I'll fight the next dude. Who's next? Who's the next best dude? And then me and James would talk about it, and then boom, this is the guy that's up. Or, this person's vacated because they're going on to do their thing. So, we will make the fight happen, but we'll get you a different opponent, And every time, we had a lot of complications at the beginning of my amateur career with everybody pulling out. Just no one wanted to really, really fight me. And I don't think it was necessarily due to my ability. I just think they weren't really professional, but I was dead serious about it. And then eventually I started beating people up. And now people don't want to fight me because of that reason. I think there's a couple of people out there that will definitely fight me. And I want those people. Those are the guys I want. I want the guys that are going to come bring me a fight. Let's get it fucking cracking. I want to be the baddest motherfucker out there. And I'm only going to do that if I get to fight other fucking dudes. So let's get it cracking.
Every single one of your fights, you've progressed step by step by step. You've had tougher and tougher opponents, culminating in your last fight, which was the unification bout of the Battle Arena lightweight title, the European champion versus you, who is the world champion. So, just for the viewers at home, Cory fought against Patrick Nasevitz, Norwegian fighter, big guy for a lightweight as well, actually.
Huge.
So, okay, you've lost to one fight, but that wasn't pure MMA bout. That was a hybrid fight.
I won the hybrid one. I lost. I did lose an MMA one. Yeah, I did lose at welterweight. At welterweight.
Okay, so you've lost. Okay,
I've lost. Fuck it. I learned. I didn't lose. I learned.
You learned. But other than that blip, there wasn't really a moment in your career that was an issue until you came up against Patrick. Now, 20 seconds into that bout, he caught you with his head kick, which you partially blocked.
I didn't. It caught me full, connected to the dome.
It looked like you partially blocked, but from where I stand,
from where it landed,
the contact was pretty impressive.
It was really good. Really good shot.
Culminating in you spending probably the best part of 3 rounds trying to clear your head.
For like 9 minutes of my life, I don't remember.
And it was the first time I've properly seen you rocked, and the first time I felt that you could potentially, not that you were, but you could potentially be in trouble. And you bit down on your gum shield, and you actually gritted through that, which threw up a an entire new set of problems for your potential challenges.
Oh yeah.
At what point did you actually feel that you came back? So from 20 seconds,
yeah.
When was the next memory that you actually have of that fight?
Picking him up and running across the cage.
Round 3.
Round 3. I thought it happened in round. No, it happened in round 2. I thought it happened in round 3. I convinced everybody it happened in round 3. That's how much a fucking head kick will fuck you up. I was convinced it happened in round 3. It turns out it happened at the beginning of round 2, I think, maybe like 20 seconds into round 2. I remember kind of coming around at this point. Again, I thought it was in round 3, so clearly I was still out of it. But at that time in the fight, I remember being pressed up against the cage. I can hear this language. It definitely wasn't English. It was his corner. They were speaking, I think, Swedish or Norwegian. And I was like, what the fuck? That's not me. That's not how I speak. And then I was like, okay, right, chill. And then I was like, I need to hear Steve and see what Steve, because I can't even listen to his corner to see basically what advice they're giving him. I can't hear that. So kind of, that's a little trick we do. Like if we go into the opposition's corner and they're telling their fighter what to do, I can listen to that and be like, oh, so you're gonna try that? Think again, motherfucker. But so I wanted to hear Steve, and I picked him up, slammed him. The only problem with that is every single one of my fans went nuts because it was like the next big thing I'd done after getting head kicked. Everything else was just survival preempt of that. So when I've picked him up, dropped him on the other side of the cage, everyone went nuts. I couldn't hear Steve, so I was back to square one where I was like, what the fuck do I do? But nah, man, like that's dedication. That's dedicated to the training I do, and that's why I was able to recover from that head kick and come back and get that 4th round stoppage, and show to everybody, not necessarily on a skill level, but on a heart level, and what I'm about. I'm not just some guy that's can talk a game. Like I come there and I get beat up, but I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna make sure you motherfucking feel it. I'm gonna make sure you remember the day you fight Cory motherfucking Bowden. So that's how I'm going out swinging.
Talking about Steve, Steve Turbett,
awesome dude,
your long-time coach, so toe-to-toe gym.
Yeah.
Tell us about your relationship with Steve.
Awesome dude. I came into the gym. I was just like another kid wanted to do MMA, talking loads of shit like, yeah, I want to be the next best thing. And then before I even really knew it, I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know who MMA fighters were. I didn't know who John Jones was. I knew who Ronda Rousey was. That was it. I saw her on YouTube. That's how I started. Facebook video got shared. So I knew nothing about MMA. I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to fight. And I was tired of being broke. I was tired of basically not fulfilling my life. Like I worked in a factory. I always felt like I wasn't good enough, and I lived to other people's expectations, and now I live to my own. And as soon as I started living to my own, I just started living to my own success. Own expectations was when I started seeing my own success just start getting better and better and better. And just in small things, it started small, and now I'm on the face of billboards on wheels. So it's been a crazy journey. I just had to get that in there again. So super fucking excited about that. But no, like for real, man. It's but yeah, I met Steve, and Steve was kind of like straight away kind of just knew that I had something special about me. I actually left Steve because something you shouldn't do. Matty spoke on it earlier. Chase the money. I went to another gym. And I was getting good money at this gym, and again, I needed it. I've got a daughter. I trained hard at that gym. They've got some good coaches there, but Steve is where my heart is at, and Steve really looks after me, cares for me. So after my loss in MMA, I started making some changes in my personal life. Came back again with the old gym I was at, Warriors Den. I defended my title, won that. And then after that, I knew it was time for me to make changes in my camp. I just needed to prove to myself that I could do it based on, I don't need people basically to prove that I can do it. I can really push through it. It just makes it a lot easier if you've got those people around just supporting you. And that's what I started doing. That's when I signed up to Battle Ready. Pretty much the same time I got Steve on board with me, because I wanted to build a team around me that's basically going to take it to the next level. And like I say, I just want to be the best. in any promotion, whatever promotion it is, wherever I go, I want to be the guy. People go, fuck, that guy was fucking awesome. And then just float on to the next one. And then that's what I want to be remembered for, is just fucking shit up.
So even though
you're doing a good job so far.
Thank you, bro. I'm trying.
Yeah, man.
But
right,
no, Steve is
bounce,
fucking
guys.
awesome. Steve is awesome.
I've got to bounce. I'll see you guys Saturday. All right.
Peace out.
Okay,
See you
mate.
Saturday,
See you
man.
later,
Good luck
guys.
with
See
your
you
cut tomorrow, bro. Good luck, bro.
And you too, man. See you in a bit, man.
Nah, easy work. Respect, bro. Thank you. But no, Steve's fucking awesome. As soon as I got back into the gym with Steve, things started clicking. We made that cut to 70 without, even doing it before. The last time I was 70 kilos, I was like 14 years old. So being a 23-year-old, changing camp and being like, oh, I'm going to 70. I'm going to lose 16 kilos was the craziest thing I ever did. But we got it done. And that's it. I'm sticking with Steve. Steve's fucking awesome.
So even though you fight out of Steve's camp, you repping Cov.
So Steve is actually just a coach at Toe to Toe. He does the MMA side of things. Toe to Toe has got its own brand. Wherever Steve goes is pretty much where I'll go. At the moment, Steve is currently at Toe to Toe. I think he probably will stay there, but if he decides to move and he's like, I'm bouncing, I'm going to a different side of town. It already takes me an hour to get to training anyway. So wherever he goes, I'll pretty much go, because he's the fucking man. And it's not just his knowledge. His knowledge is incredible, but he's got a genuine care for his athletes, his friends, his family. Myself, he's got genuine care. He asked me, genuinely how my day is, not just how it's training and stuff. So I love Steve to pieces, man, and he's an awesome fucking dude. So wherever he goes, I go. But yeah, I rep COV, Coventry. That is what I'm all about, repping my city. I'm tired of fucking being tied to gyms and this brand and that brand. So I decided to make my own. I don't even think it is a brand, but I will make it a brand. Repping COV, repping my city. That's what I'm all about. I want to put the city on the map for something other than knife crime and high stab rates and shitty football clubs, and I'll get some hate for that, man.
Hey, they've got an FA Cup. well before you were born. I remember it, in 1987 they won the FA Cup.
Their cup. But no, that's what I mean. I think there's not a lot of buzz around Coventry at the moment for something positive. There's a couple of local boxers that are doing their thing, and that's great to see. But I think for me, I think I can definitely be out there for those kids. I come from the hood, man. I live in the hood. I live in the streets. I still live with the same people I grew up with. They're still around me. So I'm as humble as it comes. So I just want to help those people out and show other kids that are coming through the same kind of struggles, or even worse struggles than I've been through, or the next person's been through. That there is a way, and you don't have to resort to violence or carrying a knife. You can just carry yourself into a building and fucking educate yourself and make money that way, rather than being a fool on the streets. It's not worth it, man. You only get one life. Let's live it to the fullest, and take risks and advantage of the opportunities that you get. That's where the real scariness is. You think you're scared walking down the street at night, man. Fucking try take a risk when you don't know. When everybody's telling you you're not going to do it, you're not going to be able to make it. Try take that risk. That will scare the fucking life out of you. But
so as a debutant, you're coming in against somebody who's fought 3 times as a professional, Andreas Lindblad. Tell us about him. What are your views on the fight?
What do you mean? Like, how do I see the fight going, or how do I see him doing what he does? Or...
A combination of the two. How do you see him as an opponent, and how do you see the fight going?
I'm sure he's going to be a tough opponent. I don't really talk too much on my opponents. I don't really care what they do. I just focus on what I do. I hope he brings his A game. I hope it's the best Andreas we've seen. I hope he truly has recovered from all his injuries, and I hope he's 100%, because I want the best form of any fighter. Unfortunately, they only get 70% of me because I'm still leveling up in this bitch. So I'm just going to take him as he comes and keep moving on. But first round knockout.
First round knockout.
Said it.
That's what he called him.
Yeah,
he's called
first
it.
round knockout. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I'm gunning for. If he survives the first round, well, I don't see him doing that. But I've prepared for 3 rounds. If that's a concern to any of the viewers, I'm prepared to go 5 rounds. My cardio is fucking good, man, and I kind of hit this second win when it comes to the 3rd and 4th. So I kind of been fighting in championship fights since my second amateur fight on hybrid. So I'm used to them long rounds, and straight away after one fight on Battle Arena, I got the national title. So and I went on to title after that, and then defended my title. So I've always been in title contention shots or positions. So that the cardio side of it doesn't really bother me. But I just want to make a statement. I'm really fucking here. I really fucking do this, and I'm going to put my city on the map. So if a first round knockout is what it takes, then guess what you're going to get.
I like it. Okay, so moving on with your career, where do you see your career going? Do you have fixed plans or fluid plans?
I'm quite open to discussions. I'm quite interested in like Bellator. I'm quite interested in EFC. Of course, I'd like to get onto the UFC. I feel like that would, like Matty was. I completely agree with Matty earlier. Like I think money is can be a problem, but at the same time, you just take away John Jones's bullshit outside of the cage. He's a dude that turns up, he fights the next guy, and he hasn't said anything about money, and he's got money. He's probably one of the most endorsed athletes prior to the Reebok deal. So he's awesome in terms of his fighter's IQ and what he does and how he carries himself in the cage. He wants to fight the next dude. He doesn't wait around for a money fight or, hey, I'm just going to go see what's up in the heavyweight division. Like that might happen, but at least he's staying active and not holding up that whole division. So that's what I want to do. I want to fight anybody in any division. And when I become champion, I'm going to fight the next dude and the best dudes. I want to be the best person. That's it. Simple, period. I want to be the best. And that's where I'm heading. So, and I got the best managers to do it with.
That doesn't surprise. That's just cheapish
laughs.
Well, I'm going to segue slightly because you talked about John Jones being one of the best sponsored, most well represented dudes, one of the most marketable guys. Sponsors. This is your opportunity across the MMA UK network. So it's not just across MMA UK itself. There's a wide network of social media followings that MMA UK have got. Give a shout out to all of your sponsors.
So we've got Phil Supreme to start off with, man. I use them every single day. And that's no joke. Their CBD oil, I genuinely believe it works. If for example, I said it before, if I have 3 or 4 hard sessions in one day, that means I'm taking 5 or 4 or 5 drops of CBD after each session. You need that recovery, man, and it's great for recovery, and it chills you out, and it gets you kind of fine tuned, so you're ready for the next one. My masseuse, my sports therapist, and my yoga instructor, Lily Cook. She's awesome. I spent like 2.5 hours with her yesterday, just fine tuning everything, and I felt incredible leaving her studio yesterday. And so definitely, I'd recommend any athlete to get involved in that. Get a massage, 100%. You get it. Just to chill you out. Every person on every day doing everyday stuff, go get a massage. You'll feel 100 times better, and you just need a bit of self-care. So shout out to her. Thank you for that. My photographer, she's fucking awesome, Louise Brooks. She's going to be coming down to my weigh-ins. I've spoke to James about it already, and she's going to be doing a lot of behind the footage, basically of just me, because I'm not main card, but we know what's up. So she's coming there. She's going to be taking pictures of me and showing. I said it to Steve the other day. My career is going to be a how-to manual. people are going to be like, oh, that's how you do it. Oh, that's how you do it. And I'm okay. I'm okay for that. So I want my career to be a how-to manual. So get yourself a photographer like I have. Louise, she's fucking awesome. She comes to the gym with me. She takes pictures and she just kind of sits in the background and doesn't really say much. She just takes pictures and then we talk shit in between and after. So she's awesome. Mr. Sport, Yanis, my guy. Honestly, he's awesome. Seriously, like he talks so much shit on the internet, and that's why I love him. Like he's just the realest dude ever, and I think that's what you need to be. You need to be a real dude, and just keep it 100, and that's what I vibe with that. So he's awesome, and we don't speak as much as I don't ask him as many questions as I used to because I get the results. I make weight easy. I walk around like a fat dude, and then I get down to 70 kilos, which again, as each fight goes on, I get a bit more professional. So that's I'm basically gonna leave this camp and go straight back into the gym and just stay strong, man. I don't want to lose any of the progress I've made, but each time I come back I just get a bit bigger and a little bit more shredded, and I don't know why or what I'm doing, but it's fucking working. So so I'm just gonna keep training hard and get some good food in me. But yeah, so you got Louise, Phil Supreme, blah, blah, blah. Blue Dog, they did all my printing on my t-shirts. If you want your t-shirts printing any logos, definitely recommend Blue Dog. And finally, I got Toe to Toe. Obviously, the gym that I fight out of, I guess they sponsor me. I fight there pretty much for free. I train there for free. Me and Steve have our own separate deal, but with Toe to Toe, yeah. They hook me up and give me a couple of I get to do a couple of PTs there, and they don't charge me for the hour fee up until a certain point anyway. So there's them. Last but not least, Simon Cockrell, Building Services. He's awesome, man. He's been supporting me for my last 3 camps, and honestly, I can't thank him enough for the work that he's been doing with me and helping me just pay for things. It gets tough out here, not really making much money. I'm broke as shit. I've got a daughter, so when I say I need to make it and I want to be the baddest motherfucker, I really fucking truly mean it, because I've got people relying on me. So it's not just about me, there's a bigger picture. So when people ask, oh, why do you do this? Why do you do this? My why is the biggest fucking why. And that's it, period.
Love that. Right,
all my sponsors, bang.
Going to hit you with two questions that everyone else has had. If you could change one rule in MMA, what would it be?
One rule in MMA. I don't think there is any rules I would really change in terms of MMA. I think it's pretty regulated. I quite like how it's regulated. Silly things, actually, like the 12 till 6 elbow. It's just dumb. It makes no sense. I can kind of understand it. Maybe there's a bit more scientific behind it than to my understanding, but you taking knees to the dome, like you get a knee in the face. Did you, like, for example, MVP, you said it earlier, MVP catching that knee to side, yeah, legit indented his skull. So how can you tell me that I can't do this, but I'm able to cave someone's skull in? It makes no sense. So
do you know what? You're in good company. Daniel Cormier says exactly the same.
Yeah, there you go. They don't really make sense to me, but whatever. It's the rules, right? So yeah, I probably would look at that, or just kind of clear up that grey area. Like, especially if you're hammering, you're in that mode and you're hammering down elbows, and you're coming in and then so whoa, was that 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? What kind of stupidness is that, man? Like, I'm trying to take this guy out, like, just let me do what I'm doing, man. Disqualify me on an angle. That's what it is. It's a degree of the elbow being from here to here. That's the difference. That degree is the difference. The power, the velocity, everything else is still exactly the same. So I think it's a bit of I don't know. Maybe I'm talking shit. I don't know, but I personally would scrap that rule. It makes no sense.
That's good. Most people talk about soccer kicks to the head, so it's nice to have something different.
I mean, to be fair, kickers I don't know about you, but I don't want to kick anybody in the head. Heads tend to be really hard, and I've got tiny bones in my foot. So me punting someone in the head isn't how I want to spend, my next 3 weeks with my foot up, icing it, trying to recover from that bruising. I'd rather just kick them in the head whilst they're standing.
Right, and I'm going to completely change the subject now then.
Go for it.
World record for eating of Jaffa cakes.
Boom.
17
Jaffa. Say no more, Chris.
17 in
you
1
want
minute.
It done?
17 in 1 minute. You're not allowed to drink. You're only allowed one Jaffa cake at a time. You have to prove that you've actually eaten and swallowed. So eat, yep, no drink. How many do you reckon you could do in a minute? Do you reckon you could beat the world record of 17?
Well, at first I thought, yeah, but then you included all the extras. You can't
Everything
have a
has rules.
sip. You got to say afterwards. That's a second in itself. Look, boom, that's a second right there. No, I don't know how many I'll do. I'll tell you what I can do: 2 double cheeseburgers from not Frankie and Benny's, from Five Guys. 2 double cheeseburgers from that, and a large fries and a large strawberry milkshake. Sign me right up. I'll eat that.
Well, MMA UK going to be doing the Jaffa Cake challenge. Are you going to join in?
Yeah, when is it? Any reason to eat, I'll do it.
We'll be looking probably at the summer. In the summer, after certainly when you're out of fight camp, we'll be trying to beat the world record. So. Matty said he's up for it. He's up for having a go. First of all, he was underestimating himself, saying maybe 8 or 9. But as soon as I said there's a competition, his interest.
Actually changed. He was like,
it did.
18.
It did completely. Yeah.
18. I don't have an estimate for myself. I fucking want to get 18, yeah. I just want to... You didn't... What? Do I have to buy the Jaffa Cakes myself?
Look at this. Seriously, they're 50p for a pack of 10 in Tesco's at the moment.
Yeah, but that wasn't the question. I'm just saying, if I buy them, I want to eat them the way I want to eat them. I got to do that all in 1 minute. I'm like, man.
If it bothers you that much, I'll buy you 2 packets of Jaffa Cakes for £1. That gives you 20 Jaffa Cakes in a minute.
So what happens if you win? What do you win?
Wow.
Well, you break the record.
you break the world record.
The world record. You get into the Guinness Book of Records for being a Jaffa Cake champion, as well as what you're going to be doing in MMA. It's hell of an accolade, really.
It's just one, yeah. Literally, it's like, oh yeah. So I started in MMA, and now I'm a Jaffa Cake eater. I like that transition.
Nothing wrong with diversifying your skill set.
Oh yeah, 100%. All of a sudden, I'm a model or something. Now I'm looking to the right in every picture or the left.
Yeah, with a Jaffa Cake in your mouth.
Yeah, is that I can't? No, for real. Let me know when that. I'll probably do that. Not tomorrow, but
no, you won't.
Saturday. I'll probably do that on Saturday just to be like, let's just see how many I can do, and I'll let you know.
Maybe Saturday.
I do it every day anyway. So.
Yes, James, you just gotta get it in, man.
This is where James and I are going to excel and beat all of you guys.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you all little bad motherfuckers, but these are the big homies. These are the real OGs of the Jaffa Cake eating games. You're going to be there hungry.
Well, before we head off, you're giving a shout out to your sponsors. Thank you so much for tonight, by the way, because obviously you're in fight camp, you're at the end of your weight cut as well, and you did an interview beforehand, so it is really appreciated you coming on late. But
no worries, man.
Your social media, you are superb on social media. So where can people find you? Give us all of your hashtags, all of your ats.
Cory Jr_MMA on Instagram. Twitter is just Cory Jr. And those are my 2. Don't add me on Facebook because I will not accept you. No disrespect, I'll just keep my friends and family on there. Keep them entertained. They get to listen to all my bullshit. But on Instagram, like I say, Cory Jr_MMA. And Twitter is Cory Jr_. I'm still getting used to Twitter and getting into the vibe of it, but I really like Instagram and Snapchat for posting pictures and videos as well, because that's one thing I've been doing, is just telling people how my day is, and I keep it 100. If I'm having a shit day, I'm gonna tell you I'm having a shit day. Today I'm having a really good day, and tomorrow I'm gonna have a good day as well, because this weight cut has been the easiest I think I've ever done, and I feel incredible. I'm in great shape. One major thing I think I've done differently is I went outside. last fight camp, I stayed indoors for this week, and I didn't do anything. I just wanted to be indoors, and I just kind of wanted to get through it. This fight camp, I've been out. I've taken my little girl to the fair. I've been town. I've ran errands. Just got my hair cut. So just got little things done like that, and and doing that just gives me a good perspective of the city. It allows me to know why I'm doing it, reminds me of why I'm doing it, keeps me humble, and just taking my day as it comes and just really embracing it. It's been beautiful weather outside. Being cooped up in a house, like thinking about what I cannot eat is horrible. So being out, just taking it all in, taking my day as it comes, no stress, has been the biggest thing. So this weight cut's actually not too bad. The camp has been grueling, it's been disgusting, but the weight cut this week has been okay. It's not been too bad. Play. Thank you very much, sir.
James, you got any questions for Cory at all?
How do I get my skin to look this good?
Obviously.
Send blood.
No, all I'll say is just see you Saturday, mate. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good fight.
Oh, yes.
It's
going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a good day. So, yeah, wicked. Can't wait for it.
No, me too. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the guys. I enjoy being like in the changing rooms with like all the other fighters, and we're just all like, oh yeah, I couldn't eat this, and I couldn't eat that either. You're fucking hugging and consoling each other before you go beat someone up. It's the weird fucking thing, man. But I love that. I love the process of it all. I love the build up and how everybody's like kind of in the same boat, and you look around and you see those dudes that are super nervous and they've got their headphones in, like, yeah, man, I'm gonna kill it, but whatever you got to do to get ready for your fight, man. It's just it's cool to look around and see all those faces and be like, man, we're going through the same thing, but everybody's handling it in their own way. Yeah, it's kind of awesome. So thank you. I did mention that on the last interview I did. He talked about Battle Arena, and I said how professional it is ran. It is by far, like, I've seen a couple of organizations, and definitely 100%, not even blowing smoke up the organization's ass, like, for real. It runs so fucking smooth, and I give credit to you and your team. You put on a fucking great show, and I think it's been ran professionally for since I started. Anyway, I don't know how long before I started.
Well, that's only when we did start doing it professionally, obviously, because we knew you were coming. Before that,
if your talent steps up,
exactly.
You got to step up, right?
That's it.
So, you got to cater for. I love it, but that's it. Yeah, so it's an awesome show, definitely.
Good lad.
Wicked for young prospects in the amateur game, looking for the step up and go into the. I think it's structured really well. And the way you're setting up fights and stuff really well. No one's really outmatched. It's not really horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible matches out. They tend to be quite even. So until they face me, or until I get head kicked, and I'm like, James, what the fuck, man?
Do you know what? I mean, I said to you going into that fight, it was going to be your toughest fight as amateur, didn't I? And,
100%. Yeah.
I mean, that's what we wanted. We wanted you to go out as a champ. Against a top fighter, and to be honest with you, I think Patrick's a great fighter, and I hope he's coming back, and I want him to have another go at them titles, because I think there's a place for him. He's a good lad,
no doubt. I mean, it's a shame that he's not on this card. Being on the Norwegian TV, 1.4 between 1.4 and 1.8 million people. Just have to get that in there. People viewing, so. That's fucking awesome, man. So it's a shame that he's not on that card, because it would have been wicked. He's definitely a talent that should have been on that. Should have got on that. Whether he knew about it or not, I don't know. Whether he's seen it or what happened, but it would have been wicked to have him on.
Yeah,
just to give him, where he comes from. The recognition for the hard work he puts in. So like all of us. But,
cool.
It's been a pleasure, folks.
Cool. Cheers, mate.
Cory, thank you so much for coming on.
You're very welcome.
You get some rest.
Do this again.
And I look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
I'll see you then.
See you Saturday, mate.
See you soon, sir.
Thanks, Cory.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
And there he goes, Cory Bowden. So I'm just going to close off the show now, James. Your opportunity to give your plugs out. So social medias, the show, hit us with everything.
Right, so the show is obviously this Saturday, 2nd of March at Edgbaston Stadium. We're opening the doors at 1:30 for some prelim fights. From 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, that's where we go live to Norway for their separate card. And then from 7 o'clock onwards, that's where we come back with all the international title fights. So, you know, it's a proper, well-structured card, legitimate international talent coming over to fight on it. You know, and to give it the bit of the old Flanagan promotion like we always do, you won't get a better fight night than this. You know, it's going to be awesome. If you want to follow us, we're on Twitter, Battlerina1. On our page on Facebook is I don't know,
MMA Battlerina.
MMA.Battlerina. And Insta is Battlerina, Battle.Arena, I think, something like that. I don't know. Whatever.
Are there still tickets available on the door?
We're out VIP. VIP sold out. And we've got a few standard left. But, you know, we always leave room for about 100 people to come through on the door if need be. So if people still want to come, they can come. They'll get in.
Fantastic. Well, the other guys who left earlier, they didn't get the chance to give their social media plug, so I'll do it for them. Mathieu James has his own athlete page on Facebook. Mathieu is spelled Mathieu James. David Causa is Demolition Man David Causa. You can find him on Instagram as well under Demolition Man David Causa. And then their gym, their class pages. Matthew's is Combat Jiu-Jitsu on Facebook, and David's is Khalsa Martial Arts. So please make sure that you follow all of them, every single hashtag, every single support your local fighters, support the guys who are putting themselves on the line for our entertainment, essentially, across the UK. If you've got anything else you'd like to add before I close off the show, James?
No, just really looking forward to Saturday. I think we're going to, knock it out of the ballpark, to be honest. And, the fights we've got on it are just like next level. So, I think the fans are in for a treat.
Well, I'll be there I'll be there myself, covering it for both Battlerina TV, and Netavision and MMA UK. So, going to be a busy boy myself at the weekend. So, you can find me at Battle Ready Fight Management on Facebook. You can find me at Battle Ready on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me personally at Chris_BRAM_ on Twitter. I've been Chris Emmanuel. Thank you very much, James Price, for joining me on the Battlerina 54 special. This has been the MMA UK podcast. We've overrun by 20 minutes, but that's not so bad. But thank you, everyone. It's good. It's good. Thank you, everyone, for viewing. It's been a pleasure, and good night.
See you later, mate.
Goodbye.